Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I talked about some of the food storage stuff here, other than releasing the video on my pantry and that quick little blurb I put about that. But I want to talk to you about what I think you guys should be doing in preparations for the holiday, right? So I know I don't want to be a Grinch, but I'm suggesting for many reasons, and I'll get into those in a minute, that you don't spend a lot of your hard-earned money on expensive gifts and sales and all this other stuff that they're going to shove in your face in Black Friday and the days before Christmas and all this stuff. What I'm suggesting is you hold your money, and if anything, you're going to buy some food for next year. We're already in a recession. They haven't called it a recession, but we're in a recession in the United States. The UK and the European Union are definitely in a recession. They've already called it that. They said it's going to be at least a 2-quarter recession. I think it's going to be all of 2023. I don't think it's going to get any better until mid-2024, to be honest with you. And a year and a half is a long time to be broke and to go hungry. So I wouldn't make any large purchases for anything. I wouldn't buy a house right now for sure, not in the U.S. I wouldn't do any kind of new car, trade-in car. I wouldn't do any big purchases at all in 2023. I'm probably not even going to do any construction projects. I have one project wrapping up right now, and then I'm not going to put any more money into materials and labor because I don't have any pressing need to spend that money on construction. So I'm just going to put that on hold. And maybe third quarter 2023, I'll look into doing something with the third floor. But I'm going to sit on as much money as I can and buy as much food preps as I can. Now, I told you I was going to slow down on buying a lot of preps, but not food, right? So I'm going to get all my rice and I'm going to get all the other stuff that I don't have put away. And I'm still freeze drying like mad. So you haven't seen a freeze dry video in a week, and that's because I've been stacking things I already done videos on. I'm stacking extra chicken. The protein is good there. I'm stacking extra raw scrambled eggs. So I'm putting away a lot of food stuff. You'll get a new freeze dry video out when I do something new, something you haven't tried yet. And I owe everyone a reconstitution video, so I'm going to get that put together when I get maybe 4 or 5 different things to do at one shot, right? So. I got 4 items now, but you guys don't need to see the corn reconstitute, right? So that's fine. The scrambled eggs, the chili mac, the chicken, and the chicken Alfredo, I think everyone's asking, well, what's it like afterwards? So I'm going to do one of those videos. But back on point here, for Christmas, we're not buying gifts for anybody, right? We're already helping a lot of people with their daily needs and expenses and things. There's just no extra that I want to spend to buy things, right? I'd rather Christmas time give them food, and I'm not talking turkeys and hams because we don't do that out here in the Philippines. But I'm sure we'll have a family get together, and I'm fairly certain that a lot of people will get fed. I don't think there's going to be any gifts exchange going on. Nobody has the extra money for it. And if you had extra money, you definitely shouldn't be wasting it on things unless you absolutely need it. Now, electricity out here in the Philippines has gone up slightly, but it's nowhere near as bad as places like the UK and the US and Germany, which has been really bad. So we're okay, I think, recession-wise for all of next year. I don't think the power is going to go up and run me a lot. Now, keep in mind, I run businesses, so I use a lot of electric. And one day, my goal is to be 100% off grid as much as possible, even with all my businesses. It's going to be a 60 kilowatt battery bank and as much solar as I can put up with the newest tech as I can. So it's going to be a pretty big setup. But that day's at least a year off, maybe a year and a half. So power is the only thing I'm really concerned about because I have to pay for it. I'm stacking food, so I should be able to eat. And I recommend if you haven't started stacking food, you go ahead and stack as much as you can, especially things that were made earlier in 2022 that were in warehouses and being distributed and out on ships, things that are in the market now, right? There's no shortage because these things were made earlier in the year. Well, keep in mind, in 2022, globally, harvests are down 50, 60%. And I'm not exaggerating. Pick your local favorite global news channel you want. Pick any of them, and they're all going to tell you the same thing. So it's not some left-wing news or whatever. The global food problem is going to hit everyone. Now, some people will just, pay more for food, and a lot of people will stop shopping at the boutiques. They're going to, people that hit Walmart for their first time, or people that shop at Walmart are going to hit Save More or the 98-cent store if they can find one of those that have anything. People will eat because they have to. But in the UK, they're putting security devices on their meat packets, on their butter, and their expensive items. They're putting shoplifting devices on it so they can't be stolen. And theft is what Target was 50% higher this year than the same time last year on shoplifting and theft. I won't blame that all on the recession. I'll blame a lot of that on legitimate shoplifting rings and gangs that are just running in and just taking as much as they can because the cops don't do anything in the U.S. anymore. And you're not allowed to stop them or you're going to get sued. But, they just eat that cost. The other thing I think I should stack, and I'm going to stack, is more alcohol and definitely more ammo. Yeah, I just burned through 500 rounds a couple days ago at the range again, so I need to stock back up on some more ammo. But any money you have right now that you don't need to spend, don't spend it on anything non-essential. If you have extra and you're thinking about doing something with it, put it in the bank or under your mattress or wherever you want to keep it. If you're not buying food with it, hang on to it because you might get some sticker shock at the start of the year. I think the recession in a lot of the prices and everything were kind of put on hold till the end of the U.S. elections. But I think we're going to have a new reality coming up soon. And at the time of the filming, the trains have not striked in U.S., but if the trains go on strike, it doesn't matter if it's 1 week or 2 weeks. That's just going to drive up prices and costs of everything Q2 of next year as well. So again, this is just a quick musing and quick mumbling thoughts on my mind. I am going to try this week to get out, and I want to try to dress the chicken. So hopefully there will be a video in a week or a week and a half on me doing that. And I am trying to get out and do a few different things. So this is just a quick reminder that even if you're seeing food on the shelves, you're probably not seeing all the food you're used to seeing, and you're certainly not seeing the prices you're used to. And I don't care what the U.S. government says, inflation is 7%. I'm telling you that's bullshit, and I'll say that clear. Food inflation is 20 to 30% and higher on certain items. And you know this because you're buying these items and you're like, what happened? Anyways, back to the topic of the video. If you got money, don't spend it unless you absolutely have to, or unless you're stacking food. And another thing I'll tell you right now, if you have a deep freezer or a freezer space and you like beef, go ahead and get as much beef right now as you can, because you're going to find Q2 of next year, beef is not only going to be in short supply, it's going to be extremely expensive. And you can Google beef shortage globally, and you can find your own resources for all of that. And you're going to discover that, yes, indeed, all the beef you're seeing right now was early culls, right? They culled a lot of their herds 2 or 3 years early because they couldn't feed them or water their cattle, and they didn't want to lose the cattle market value to death. So they culled extra. And you can't just put back a new calf and have ground beef soon. It takes years to bring these calves up to weight and butchering size. So you're going to see Q3, and you're going to ask yourself, what happened to the beef? And you're going to see McDonald's and Burger King selling you bullshit patties. I don't even know what the veggie patties or sawdust patties or bulgur or whatever crap they're going to put in them. That's if you can find a Burger King, right? Burger King doesn't have lettuce right now in the U.S. for some reason, and the reason is because there's a huge lettuce shortage. And that's partially to blame to a lettuce virus in California or whatever you want to call it. But bottom line is, you think it's tough right now, it's going to get tougher Q2, Q3 of next year. And if you don't have money or food or something saved up, you're going to look back and say, gee, that Bill guy had something going on. He was thinking about this stuff pretty far advanced. And at the end of the day, if I'm completely wrong, you know what? You got food. And I guarantee you that food you got is a lot cheaper than you'd be paying for it at that time. All right, so hey, stay tuned for some good videos coming up. Hopefully the chicken one, I'm excited about that. I just got to pick a good day. And then, we'll rotate through some freeze drying. I do have some construction wrapping up, and I got some partial videos on that, so I'll get another construction video out for you guys. And then I'm hoping to take a mini vacation, and not an expensive one, just throwing everybody in the car and van for the day and run down to the beach. Maybe tent camp overnight on the water, and just to see how it goes. But hopefully I'll have a fun, relaxing video out soon as well. Once again, thank you to all my new subscribers. If you like this content, hit the like. If you have any questions or comments, put them right below. Thank you.